subscribe.
Duelist Nexus is just around the corner, and with it comes a ton of exciting support for a ton of different decks. Today we're going to be introducing some new cards from the set that any fan of synchro summoning will want to get their hands on. But first, click the button. We're going to start with one of the cards I'm most excited for, and that is Revolution Synchron. Coming in secret rare, this little fella is a level 3 tuner with a really nice effect. If you synchro summon a power tool monster or a level 7 or 8 dragon monster, this card in your hand can be used as material. You can only use this effect once per turn, of course, and if you control a level 7 or higher synchro monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. Also, its level becomes 1. If you couple this with any level 4 on the field, you essentially give yourself easy access to things like Ancient Fairy Dragon if you're going first, or even going second, you can make Black Rose Dragon just like that and clear the entire field. If you do happen to make something like Ancient Fairy Dragon or any other level 7 dragon monster, you can use Revolution Synchron's effect in the graveyard to bring itself back, and then that's easy access to Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon as well. I think this card plus Assault Synchron from Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge, both being searchable through tuning, is going to open up some very creative deck builds and some very cool synchro combo piles. Next up, we have another secret rare straight out of the 5Ds anime, and that is Crimson Dragon, a generic level 12 synchro, but it can be pretty easy to summon and has a nice effect as well. If this card is special summoned, keep in mind that says special summoned and not synchro summoned, you can add one spell or trap that mentions Crimson Dragon from your deck to your hand. Quick effect, you can target one level 7 or higher synchro monster on the field except Crimson Dragon, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon one dragon synchro monster from your extra deck with the same level as the targeted monster. This is treated as a synchro summon as well. Again, there are a lot of cool things that you can do with this card, because not only are you getting that search for a spell or trap, but you're also able to cycle out some more dragon synchro monsters from your extra deck, and because it counts as a synchro summon, you can summon things like Borrowload Savage Dragon and still get their effects as well. One of the cards that you can search with Crimson Dragon is Scrap Iron Sacred Statue, and this is similar to Scrap Iron Scarecrow where it resets itself after you activate it. So target one of your level 7 or 8 dragon synchro monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, special summon it, but return it to the extra deck during the end phase. Also, after that, set this card face down instead of sending it to the graveyard. If this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one Crimson Dragon from your extra deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. So you could make Stardust Dragon or Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon and then use that as synchro material for Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon can search this trap card, and then on your opponent's turn, you can activate the trap card to bring back your Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and then Crimson Dragon can target your Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon to bring out another level 8 synchro. From there, you would just also have constant access to reborning synchro monsters from the graveyard because the trap card resets itself, and if your opponent destroys it, you also just get to summon Crimson Dragon from the extra deck for free. Then when that happens, you can search another spell or trap with Crimson Dragon, and another one of those cards that you can search is Synchro Overtop. This is a normal spell card with really cool artwork. We got some of the Signer Dragons there. Its effect is also really cool because it's somewhat similar to Soul Charge. So target any number of level 7 or 8 dragon synchro monsters in your graveyard, special summon them in defense position, but their levels become 1 and their effects are negated. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except synchro monsters. When a synchro monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Crimson Dragon from your extra deck, and you can only use each of these effects once per turn, but that's another easy way to bring out Crimson Dragon right there. Not to mention, this also allows you to easily get to those synchro monsters that require synchro monsters as material. Perfect segue, by the way, because an example of one of those synchro monsters also comes in this set, and that is Cosmic Quasar Dragon. This fella right here is the cover card for Duelist Nexus and is a level 12 synchro requiring a tuner synchro monster and 2 non-tuner synchro monsters. Looking at the effect here, it must first be synchro summoned with the above materials, and once per turn you can target face-up cards on the field up to the number of monsters used as synchro material for this card plus 1, negate their effects, and that effect's activation and effect cannot be negated. However, it also has a quick effect. You can banish this synchro summoned card, special summon one Dragon Synchro monster from your extra deck that requires 2 non-tuner Synchro monsters as material. This is treated as a Synchro summon. Now you might be wondering, why would you make this turn 1 when you could just make something else like Cosmic Quasar, which you would probably be summoning with this anyway? Well, I hope you noticed there's no once per turn on this effect, meaning if you couple it with Assault Synchron, you use its effect banishing itself to bring out a Synchro monster from the extra deck, you can then trigger Assault Synchron and Graveyard to summon this back, essentially giving you another free 4k body that your opponent has to deal with. It's 2 for the price of 1. I think it's also going to look amazing in Quarter Century Secret Rare. I really can't wait to get my hands on that one. But yeah, moving on. While we're on the topic of Stardust related cards, we have another little good boy to go alongside the support from Dawn of Majesty, and that is level 1 Stardust Worm. If this card is in your hand or graveyard and you control a level 8 or higher Dragon Synchro monster, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can tribute this card, special summon up to 2 level 1 light dragon monsters from your hand and or graveyard except Stardust Worm, but their effects cannot be activated. You can only use each effect once per turn. Now obviously with it being a Stardust card, you would expect to see this played in, Stardust Synchro decks. However, you could also play this in Blue Eyes. Next up, we have another normal spell, and I love it when cards refer to older sets, this one being Duelist Genesis. If you have a tuner on your field or in your graveyard, add 1 Synchro spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 Duelist Genesis per turn. Pretty simple. There's a lot of different cards you can search with this, and a lot of different ways to fulfill its requirements. For example, a lot of the hand interruptions you see, like Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler, are tuners. I do love little outside the box kind of synergies like that, but one card you can search with this is the field spell Synchro World, and this is kind of similar to Gateway of the Six, but it's a lot more generic. So each time a monster is synchro summoned, place 2 signal counters on this card. If this card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 Crimson Dragon from your extra deck. Again, we have a way to punish your opponent by just allowing us to summon out Crimson Dragon if they destroy it. And also, you can remove 4, 7, or 10 signal counters from your field, apply the appropriate effect. For 4, you can increase or decrease the level of 1 face-up monster you control by 1. For 7, you can special summon 1 tuner from your graveyard. And for 10, you can special summon a synchro monster from your graveyard. And this isn't once per turn, so you're pretty much just going to be endlessly synchro summoning, and it's going to be hilarious. Finally, for the last card we have to talk about today, you might be wondering, who's this little guy? Well, that is in fact Wheel Synchron, a new level 5 machine tuner. If this card you control is used as synchro material, you can treat it as a non-tuner. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 level 4 or lower monster. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except synchro monsters. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 synchro monster you control, reduce its level by up to 4. So that is going to help facilitate some of your synchro plays, and that is the general theme of pretty much all of the cards we've talked about today. So synchro summoning is essentially back with Duelist Nexus and Revolution Synchron especially. I'm looking forward to it. I think the next season of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly is also going to be synchro focused, and we're probably going to need quite a few of these cards. If you come back on Friday, we might be able to pull some of them early. So thanks for watching, see you then, and take care.